show you how to fix your overviews so that you are safer in high sec, low sec, and even in faction warfare. Now, the reason why this is important is because the default overview and even some of the popular overviews you can get don't have their colors set up in such a way that you're alerted to potential threats, or they have it set up so that people who could be a threat or who may be AWOXers show up as friendlies. So we want to adjust that. We want to remove the blue settings from the people who could be a threat to us, and anybody who is a potential threat in high sec, we want them to show up nice and bright for us. So you can see here in my local chat how people show up. So these are my blues. Yellow has no standing with me, so they could be a threat. Gray means that they are neutral, so they're not hostile necessarily. I'm not going to shoot them first, but they're not to be trusted. Anybody who is flashy is a legal target to engage in combat. So I'm going to show you how to set that up real quick. This will allow you to see any threat. The way that I'm going to show you how to do this prioritizes standings over anything. So that, for example, in low sec, if one of your friends goes suspect, a lot of the popular overviews, they overlook this. They have suspect show up above standings. So all of a sudden, somebody who's friendly to you might start flashing. You think, oh my God, it's a pirate. And you start shooting him. We don't want that. So we don't want you shooting friends, and we don't want you trusting random militia if you're in faction warfare. I'm in the Amar militia, and we've had a problem with Calmil, the Caldari militia, coming in, or people in that militia, and AWOXing guys and shooting them. So we want to protect you so that you don't trust the wrong people. So you can see here this guy that I don't know, I've had no standings with him. He shows up bright yellow in my overview. I'm not going to miss that. If I happen to be looking somewhere on the screen, that bright yellow bar shows up, I'm not going to miss that. Also, if he shows up on my grid, where are they? The big yellow spot's going to show up. If I'm zoomed out, I'm going to see where he is very quickly. So I'm going to show you how to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my settings. If you're using the Photon UI, it is these three little dots. Go to Open Overview Settings. I'm going to reset my whole thing. Actually, I got to go here. Miscellaneous. Reset all settings. So now we're starting from scratch. We have the default overview. So, first of all, we're going to go in and we're going to adjust the appearance so that people who have no standings, this is important in high sec as well, because gankers sometimes don't show up as red. So anybody who we don't know, we want them to show up a bright yellow. So we're going to set their color tag for no standing as yellow. And their background is yellow. So they show up as a big yellow bar. No standing. So we've got neutral standing, shows up as gray. So basically a nice neutral color. Now, we want to show our standings above things like suspect. So people who have good standing, if they go suspect, we're not going to worry about that. So we're going to make sure that criminal and suspect are below excellent standing or good standing, but above terrible standing and bad standing, because if they go suspect or criminal, we're going to take that opportunity and we're going to shoot them. Let's go into our color tags as well. Let's make sure that blue and good standings are above criminal and suspect, and our criminal and suspect are above terrible and bad. Perfect. Okay, now our militia, if we're in faction warfare, we want to set them to a neutral color. So let's find our militia. Is in your militia or allied to your militia. We're going to change that from purple to gray. So let's go ahead and go to our backgrounds as well. Militia. We are going to set that to gray, as well as people who are involved in any high sec wars. You know, it doesn't mean they're not going to gank us if they get a chance if we go suspect. So let's go with our high sec wars as well. Where is that? Ally in one or more of your wars. Let's set that to neutral. We're going to put that, let's actually leave that there. So allied to you. Yeah, we'll leave that. Okay. So another thing we're going to do is we are going to add the tags column. This will help you in PvP and PvE. So we are going to right click, add a column, the tags column. Now you see it's over here. It's not really useful. We want it to be beside the target icon and stuff. So we are going to change the order. And we're going to move tag all the way to the top. Another column that we're going to want, we can resize this now. Another column we're going to want is radial velocity. So radial velocity tells you if it's a negative value, it tells you that they are moving towards you. If it's a positive value, they are moving away from you. So if you're trying to chase somebody down, you can tell if they're pulling away and how quickly they're pulling away. And if you are on grid with a bunch of rats doing PvE, the ones that have a negative velocity are coming towards you, and if they have a really high velocity, you know they're coming directly at you. So we're going to go ahead and add radial velocity as well, and we can shrink that down. All right. So we are going to go in and we're going to set up. Do you see how I have all this clutter in my overview? The default, or sorry, in my my dscan. Now the default setting would be like all or general, and there's so much garbage here. Like I can't find the enemies through that. So we're going to set up a preset. All right, no more preset. There we go, filters. All right, so they've changed it now. So now it's filters instead of presets. So we are going to create one. We're going to deselect all. We're going to find all our ships. So let's remove that. So we're going to go to ships. We're going to select all. Okay. Now we are also going to put on bombs, interdiction, scanner probes, and we are going to put on cynos. So cyno means that ships could be coming in through a portal. So we're also looking for a mobile cyno. Let's search cyno. Deployable, here we go. All right, mobile cyno beacon. So these are threats. So we want to make sure we see these. Now we're going to save this as PvP, ships only. But it has threats like probes that could be trying to scan us down, and also cynos that could be bringing in ships on top of us. So PvP ships only. Now we load this into our directional scanner, PvP ships only, and we're only going to see threats out there. So we see people are probing, we see ships that we could hunt down and kill, or that could be hunting for us. So this is a very handy preset to make. And that's it. This will help you, even with the most basic overview, the default overview. You can add these things to your overview, and it's going to help keep you a lot safer. Show you who to trust, who's a threat potentially, who's your friend, so when they go suspect, you're not going to shoot them accidentally. And it's going to give you a directional scan preset that will keep you a lot safer than the default ones. All right, cheers.